Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So as you know, we've recently swapped cruising lifestyle for some time in the marina. So over the next few months we are tackling quite a large number of boat projects. The first one was to sort out the hot water system to prepare for the heating, and also so that we could give the engine bay some much needed overdue maintenance. Last week we left you with the calorifier tank in situ and also with our engine bay smoking. So join us this week as we try to fix the smoking engine problem. So yeah, let's get into the vlog. So it's day 2 of our upgrading our calorifier tank water situation. So we've left it overnight to see how it's going to be, if there's going to be any leaks or anything. Last night we did finish wiring up the immersion switch. I didn't film that because obviously we're not electricians and we are waiting for it to be approved by an electrician, and that'll be happening in the next few weeks. So it's wired up and it's working. So we've tested it with the immersion, we've tested it with the cold water and the hot water, but we haven't tested is the engine running through yet, and that's because we obviously, when we emptied the system yesterday, we ran out of coolant. So we went to the shop, got some more coolant, we're going to top that up, and then we're going to test the engine. So I'll show you how it's set up. So it's all connected as you saw earlier. We did have a little leak from the bilge and the cold water pipe, so we've dried that off. We've got the little heater here to dry it all off, but everything's connected. We've got our 240 mains cable coming up here, and that goes into this new immersion switch that we fitted. So we bought one that's got a light so we can see when it's on and when it's off, just so we know we don't leave it on by accident, because it does use quite a lot of power. So that's the immersion there. So we're really pleased with it. I think it looks really neat. Happy with how it's turned out. So like I said, we're just going to test it with the engine, and then we can put all this area back together again. We can still get access to it easily because the structure's not finished. So we can keep monitoring it for any more leaks or anything like that. So this is our engine, and like I mentioned, because we drained the system, we don't have any coolant. So the coolant goes in here, so I'm going to take it off and show you that we don't actually have any in it. So we're just using a bit of kindling as a dipstick because we don't have a dipstick for this. But there's absolutely nothing in the tank, so we obviously need to fill that up before we start it. So we're going to do that now. So this is the coolant that we're going to put in. We just went to Shell and picked it up. So we've got 2 pouches of this. Hopefully it's the right one. And it just pours into this bit. I'll try and do it without spilling it everywhere. Oh, I spilled a little bit. Never mind. I think we should put 2 in. Do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, put the other one in. So I'm just going to put in the second pouch. Oops, little spillage there. Well, that wasn't very neat. I'll have to go and get a cloth and clean that, I think. Do you think?
Definitely.
Yeah. So I've just gone and got some water just to fill it all the way up to the top. So I'm going to put this in along with the coolant. It's quite a big tank this is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it need to be all the way up to the top?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go in and get more then. I'm just going to put a bit more in because that last litre didn't fill it. can see it at the top. Is that full enough, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're just going to run the engine up. We're going to purposely leave the cap open just to make sure that the system is full once we start, because we may need to put a bit more in. So yeah, we're going to do that and hopefully the calorifier won't leak. Somewhere, sure exactly where at the moment, but we definitely have one. Well, that was exciting. So the cold water pipe wasn't tight enough. It was the cold one, wasn't it?
Hot water pipe from the engine to the tank.
The hot water pipe from the engine to the tank wasn't tight enough, so it kind of sprayed. But we fixed it and we ran the engine again, as you can hear, and we're just testing it now. So I'll show you what it looks like. No more leaks at the moment. It did get quite wet, so we'll have to dry it out for a bit longer. You can see the water ran all the way down to here. So yeah. Thankfully it seems to be okay now. So we were running the test and this is what's happened. We're not sure if it's just the water or... No, we don't think it is the water, do we? Because it's not steam, that's smoke.
Yeah.
So something is very wrong. Hi guys, so it's been a couple of days since we were working on the engine bay. We're going to try and fix the overheating problem. So thanks to everybody who commented before saying it's more than likely an airlock. A couple of you gave me some suggestions on how to cure the airlock. So that's what we're going to try and do today. So hopefully by the end of today the engine will be running and not overheating. So we're going to take you with us while we try to resolve the problem.
The object now is to identify where the bleed nipple is on the cooling tank for the engine, and we've been reliably informed it's on the top and it's brass. With a bit of luck that's the one, so fingers crossed we're going to release the air pressure from that bleed nipple when we put some more water in. Can't really see the water level there.
You can a bit from this angle.
Okay, so we've not got a lot of space, but we need to get a 50-50 water and antifreeze mix. So there's going to be a bit of trial and error.
Yeah, exactly. Trial and error.
Trial and error here to get it done, but let's go for it.
Yeah.
We're going to try an 8mm spanner. It's a square end on the bleed nipple, so fingers crossed this will do the job. If not, we'll have to resort to an adjustable.
So we've just opened it and this is what's happening, which obviously is not correct. So we were expecting just air to come out when we opened the valve, but water and coolant's come out, so I'm not really sure what we're going to do next.
Our next trial will be to disconnect the calorifier hot water pipe from here and also from the other side of the engine here. So in theory we can fill from here, it'll go through the pipe, through the calorifier and come out of the other side here.
So our next step is to remove the engine hot water pipe that takes the hot water from the engine into the calorifier. So we're going to take it off at both ends and then put some water through it just to try and clear any airlocks that could be in that pipe.
We're now going to top up the engine
with the coolant that just spilled all over the inside.
replace what we've lost. we've got air bubbles coming out, so I'm hoping any airlocks that we had have now been cleared. We're now going to fill this up with exactly the same amount of water to give us a 50-50 mix.
We're just going to take the cushions off so that we can monitor the calorifier when we start the engine again, just to make sure there's no leaks. Just put it on top of this one, eh?
Sounds good.
I'm showing off the good handiwork here. Just turn it around the other way. Well, it's still dry. That's good.
Just starting her up.
Okay. So fingers crossed we've got no leaks. There's nothing so far. So as you can see here, we have some liquid coming out of the radiator cap. As a form of precaution, we went to the chandlers and replaced this cap because the spring inside the cap had actually gone. So we've got a nice new cap on, so we know that's not contributing to the problem anymore. As we were working on the engine, we looked outside and were treated to this absolutely stunning sunset. So I thought I would include it in the vlog, and I hope you enjoy it too. It's moments like this that remind us why we do what we do. I just think this sunset was beautiful, and it was nature's reminder that everything's going to work out and we will get to the bottom of the problem with the engine eventually. So as you can see behind me, or to the side of me, the engine doesn't seem to have been fixed. We tried the airlock suggestion on the, what's it called?
The cooling tank.
Yeah, on the tank on the side that I showed you at the very beginning. And we've also tested the pipe that goes to the calorifier, or the hose rather, and neither of those things have cured the problem. So we're going to go back to the drawing board again and try and come up with another solution, and hopefully we'll get it sorted out. Luckily we're in the marina and we don't need to go anywhere at the moment, so it's not too much of a problem. It's just we obviously want to get it fixed as soon as possible. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!